Achieving greatness. It's something that a lot of people want. Let's, for example, look at the internet nowadays, social media. For example, do this if you want to earn a lot of money. Do that if you want to achieve financial freedom. Do this if you want to achieve freedom. How to achieve this, how to achieve that. Greatness is something that, especially nowadays, thrives us. It's something that a lot of people want and reach out for, especially the younger generation, my generation, or even Gen Z. And is there something wrong with that? Is that something what we should not do? Well, let's answer that question together today, shall we? Shall we? But before we answer that question, let me tell you why I came to this topic. Because normally I'm focused on the theoretical part of worship. That's my first 3 or 4 videos, what's about. And don't worry, I will make those videos again soon, but there something happened which made me led to this video. Because when I started YouTube, when I started this dream, it was something I did with God together and I planned things. And sometimes through life circumstances, your plans don't always go the way you want. For example, I wanted to upload every Wednesday, but through circumstances and through a big life changing thing, like I'm gonna start an education as carpentry. I'm currently working as well. I'm working 5 days a week. 1 day a week, I am already trying to um, look for carpeting. Another thing which people might notice is normally there's a plant here that's not here right now because we're redecorating a little bit the house, and that's okay. Those things are part of life, and to be honest, that made me tired sometimes. And sometimes I chose to let tiredness control me, and I did not do the things I want to do, like making YouTube videos, investing time in my socials and in my t-shirt sellings. But to be honest, I should. It's something I wanted to do for a long time already. It's something I wanted to do together with God. And that's where I came on the topic of achieving greatness. Because worship is not all about music. It's one of the things I keep telling in the intros of my videos or in my videos at all. Worship is a lifestyle. And to achieve greatness, a lifestyle of worship is something that is crucial in that. And let me explain a little bit more about that, how to achieve greatness. Greatness is something you should know is not in our control. Let's go back to worship. If we sing in worship songs, God you're good, God you're great, that's who God is. And in order to achieve something that is a characteristic of someone, for example, God is great, you want to achieve that same greatness, or not to be equal of God, but also be great. Therefore, you should be more like God. That's what makes great people, and that's what makes greatness. And that's what I was struck with. I was like, God, this is what I wanted, right? I want to I want to grow, I want to become greater so that people can see your greatness. But I forgot that in order for people to see God's greatness, they need to see God, and therefore I need to spend time with God, and I need to start planning things with God. But I'm a planner. I like to plan things, but sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, I forget to plan with God. I make this amazing plan. Let's say in the month of February and January, February, I worked at Tuesdays. Yes, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and I was free on Mondays and Wednesdays, which was perfect. So I planned according to that schedule, not knowing that my schedule would change in March, which led me to uploading less. If I would have said, God, this is my plan, God could have told me, it's nice that you have a plan like this, but because God is someone who stands out of time, God knows everything, therefore He knew what would happen. Therefore, if I would have planned right away with God, this could have been prevented. So, in order to achieve your goals, to achieve greatness, plan with God. Second of all, sometimes God says no. We don't always see everything. So sometimes when we want to achieve something, God says no. Why? Either it's not good for you or it's not the right time yet. But don't try to plan or go and do things without God. Because what happens if you achieve greatness without God? Well, it's good. We see it all around us, but it's temporary. And um, one of the things that made me realize, understand this concept was a movie clip. A movie clip of the show or movie God's Not Dead. In this,
You prayed and believed your whole life. Never done anything wrong. And here you are. You're the nicest person I know. I am the meanest. You have dementia. My life is perfect. Explain that to me.
Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble because he doesn't want them turning to God. Their sin is like a jail cell, except it's all nice and comfy and there doesn't seem to be any need to leave. The door's wide open. Till one day, time runs out. The cell door slams shut. And suddenly, it's too late.
closer to God. Achieving greatness can be used as something amazing, but it can also be used by the devil to keep you down, to not reach out to God, because why would you reach out to God if you already have everything, right? Therefore, achieving greatness has all to do with your heart. And a beautiful biblical example was Solomon. God asked him, if you can have one thing, what would it be? And rather than asking for wealth or anything else, Solomon asked for wisdom. Wisdom, that was all he asked for. But yet God was so moved by that because of the wish for wisdom, Solomon gained a lot more than just wisdom. And why? Because wealth, everything in life starts with God and the knowledge about Him, about who He is, about His wisdom. That's where everything comes from. That's where our lifespan comes from. Without God, nothing makes sense. We don't have any goals or achievements because once we reach them, we want more until we're dead. And then what happens? Nothing. The Bible speaks very clear about that. Everything you earn here on earth belongs to earth, stays at earth, and you won't take it with you. Is it wrong, therefore, to want financial freedom or want wisdom? Not wisdom, wisdom is not wrong. To want financial freedom or be wealth? No, it's definitely not wrong. But ask yourself the question, why? What is your heart behind that? And that's where a lot of new age thinking comes from as well. But because their heart is on the wrong place, they tell you that there's nothing wrong with being rich or thinking yourself rich. And there's partly truth in that indeed. But their heart is not on the right place. So remember this, if you want to achieve great things in your life, if you want to achieve greatness, check your heart, check with God, and then go and do only as God tells you to do. Because if you get greedy, you get nothing. So if you want to become a great worship leader, if you want to become great at anything, spend time practicing your skills together with God. Okay? And I'll see you next Sunday, hopefully, if I plan everything correct now with God, with a new video. And I want to record the podcasts back on Wednesday. And until that, stay faithful to God and give Him credit for everything. My name is Daniel, and I welcome you to Live in Worship.